one of the reasons I did this at this stage in my life is that I'd heard a story. I don't know if somebody told me or I read it. And it was a son talking about his father who always wanted to do van life. Got to retirement age at 65 at that stage. Bought a van, took 9 months to do it all out. 2 weeks after it was finished, he died of a heart attack. So he never got the chance to do it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I can't really wait until I'm 67 now, which is retirement age. I might not be around at 67. So if I can get the money now, I can do this life. And that's what I've done.
Excellent.
And what I've gone for is an elevator bed. Like if you want me to just
Oh yeah, let's have a look at that.
The problem with these is that they're glass. Now, this is my second one. I made a little error on the first one.
There's a story for everything, isn't
I'm
it?
not going to go through that again.
That's good memory for me, that, actually. So Neil, it's good to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Yeah, on the road. And you've been out here for a little while experiencing nomad life. Can you tell us about your backstory?
Yeah, well, I'm 61 now. I'm fully retired. I still have to work 2 days a week. But I got to a stage where I didn't like where I was living. And I've always been adventurous and out in camping, cycle camping. This seemed to be the next logical step for me because getting older, I had enough of being go on a nice hike, get wet, come back to a wet tent. At least now I've got a waterproof roof over my head, and also the total freedom it gives you. That's basically what I was after. It's not so much the van life, living in the van. It's more about the van being able to drive to somewhere, find somewhere brand new, experience something new, and go out in nature. It's more about nature to me. I like going out and doing walks into nature, waterfall walks, or just in woodlands and things like that. But living in the van gives me that ability. Even though I work 2 days a week, I still have like the rest of the week to travel, so I can travel around and find somewhere new. I've done a lot of exploring around England on a bicycle. I did a 6-month tour around the coast back in 2014. So what I'm sort of doing is revisiting quite a lot of the areas which I've done previously with the bike, but now I've got the van with me. Now, because it's a long wheelbase sprinter, it's a little bit more difficult to park in some of the places. Car parks, for instance, is always an issue. But I've found quite a lot of off-road places to do a park up out in the middle of the wilderness. I'm fully off-grid. I've got lots of electric, gas, no gas whatsoever. Everything's electric.
Right.
So I've got an induction hob, kettle, toaster, air fryer. Now everybody's got an air fryer sort of thing. I spent quite a lot of money on my electrics. It was the biggest outlay. I mean, I think it came in just over 5,000, which is a lot of money. But my battery was 1,800 just on its own. But it's enabled me to live completely off grid. I've got underslung water tanks, 90-litre water tank, fresh water, 40 for the waste. So once I fill that up, I'm good to go for weeks.
Brilliant.
Really. I'm also quite conscious about using water. For instance, I don't put the heat in. I've got heat and a hot water combination boiler, a Truma, but I don't tend to put the hot water on just for washing up. So I'll fill the kettle up, make a cup of tea in the morning, and the rest of the water in the kettle will do me washing up. So I don't really need to put that on, and I'm saving water. And because it's a 10-litre tank in the boiler, what's the point of heating up 10 litres if I only need half a litre to wash up with?
Exactly.
It just makes more sense to me. Initially, I was going to put a shower in, and I looked at a lot of people on YouTube, and I came to the conclusion they just used them as wet rooms.
Mm.
And it was a big space taken up inside the van. And I didn't want to feel cramped at any stage. So most of my cupboards are a little bit narrower than a lot of other vans, especially the shower. You know, if you need to stand in the shower, you're going to have a bit of room, so that's going to bring it right out. So I didn't go for that. I'm not going to be using it. The shower's available everywhere, service stations, gyms, and swimming pools and things like that. I have put in an outside shower, which runs off the same system, the hot water.
Oh, they're great, those, aren't they? They're really good.
So it's straight out the back. I can have a lovely shower outside. When I'm in a place where I can have a shower outside, not normally naked.
Yeah, maybe not.
But yeah, so I've got that. If as a last resort, I can use that if I don't find somewhere else to have a shower.
Yeah.
And I found that I don't need to have a shower every day. I can still be clean. Have a good wash in the morning, good wash in the evening. Wet wipes are fantastic. Clean yourself up. And the only other thing is doing laundry. I don't have anything to do with laundry in the van, so I found Revolution okay at some of the service stations, a bit expensive, but also local laundrettes.
Yeah,
you can use them. You know, it's I tend to do washing probably every 2 weeks. I don't usually wear a lot of clothes. I don't wear a lot of clothes. I don't get really dirty. In the winter it was a bit difficult because you get wet and muddy. So yeah, I did a bit more washing then, but in the summertime, not really.
I think that's true. There's quite a theme we've picked up in Nomad life where there's the no wash movement as well, which saves energy.
Yeah.
More fuel efficient, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I did look at one of these washing machine. Well, it's not a washing machine; it's a washing tub or something you can use in the van. Just put it in water and do your hand wash, basically. I've looked at it. I haven't quite decided yet if I was going to go for that or not. But I found one that easy to use.
Some noise coming out of that.
You've just seen a van go past, and that's one of the ones I was looking at initially. I couldn't find one cheap enough, expensive. The cost of my van, I looked and looked, and I managed to get this one for 12,000. I bought it from a dealer, so I got like a 6 months warranty on that. And I think in total it took us myself and my brother did all the work, so it's a self-converted build, and it took us about 9 months to do.
Yeah.
And I think my total cost, which is going to sound really expensive, is 30,000. But if you go and look at some of the vans on this site today, at the Van Fest, 75,000, 50,000, little vans. So I'm thinking 30,000. Yeah, it's not that expensive. Now, the way I finance this, when you get to 55, you can pull some pension money, so you can get it from your private pensions.
Yeah.
So what I did, I pulled a lump sum from the private pension and still left myself with a pot which would pay each month, and that enabled me to purchase the van and do the build. One of the reasons I did this at this stage in my life is that I'd heard a story. I don't know if somebody told me or I read it, and it was a son talking about his father who always wanted to do van life, got to retirement age at 65 at that stage, bought a van, took 9 months to do it all out. 2 weeks after it was finished, he died of a heart attack, so he never got the chance to do it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I can't really wait until I'm 67 now, which is retirement age. I might not be around at 67. So if I can get the money now, I can do this life. And that's what I've done.
Excellent.
So I'm now nearly 12 months in and enjoying life.
Excellent. And so that was the major catalyst, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, reading that story or hearing that story it was a trigger really for me, and also the fact that the cost of living was kept just going up, and I didn't really like where I was living.
Yeah.
Not a nice area, and I wanted to get away with that, get away from that. Initially, I was going to be a weekend warrior. I'll maybe go away for a week at a time. I had a car while I was doing the build. Finished the build. My car was parked outside my flat. I parked my van outside my flat for the first time. That evening, I'm watching TV, and almighty bang, I look out the window, my car's on fire.
Oh, wow.
Now, I think it was set on fire. The police investigated, but couldn't come up with a reason why. And that was, from that day forward, I thought, I'm not going to live here. Got in my van, filled it with stuff I needed, and I went. I kept the flat on for a while, just for storage, and now I'm totally off grid.
Fantastic.
Living the life.
Yeah, well, this is much better than where you were, I can imagine.
Yeah.
This is much better than most people are.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is now, if you pull up somewhere and you don't feel safe and you don't really like it, you just set the engine going and drive somewhere else and find somewhere new.
You know? And you haven't gone down the stealth camping route because you stand out, you're quite visible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've sort of got a thing about bees.
Yeah.
That's why my van's called Bumble, and I've got bee motifs on some of the stuff inside, and also the honeycomb graphics on the side of the van, all to do with bees, really. And the thing is, if what people say are true, if bees disappeared, we'd all end up dead, I think.
All life would cease to exist.
Cease to exist if bees don't exist, so we have to encourage bees.
Oh, I'm all for this. Yeah, let's support the bee channel, folks. Yeah. Let's get on there, give them a sub, and let's protect the bees. Yeah. So it's about to open up and rain again. Can we have a look inside and see what's going on? Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. It is immaculate in here, isn't it?
Yeah, put some light on there.
Oh, yeah. What a cool space this is.
Yeah, as you can see, maybe motifs.
I love the space you've got here as a lounge.
Yeah. When I looked at the build initially, I looked at a lot of work on, builds on YouTube, and I didn't want to have a fixed bed. It's one of the things. I'm not into kayaking and all that sort of stuff, so I didn't need a real big garage area. But I wanted a chill out area with seating, plenty of seating. So that's the way I've gone with this one. So I've got like a L-shaped seating with a table. I can open the back doors and sit at the back and look over the beach if I want. And it's actually got enough space for two people to sleep on as well.
Yeah.
Now, as I say, I didn't want the bed. So what I've done instead is quite different. I saw this bed on YouTube in the US, and I thought that's the one I want. And what I've gone for is an elevator bed. If you want me to just show.
Oh yeah, let's have a look at that.
But basically, I've lost some of the height from here, but the seating area, I'm sitting down, so I don't really need that height because I'm just going to be sat down. So this is my bed. I've got a control here, and it just runs off a little motor. Time for bed. I just press a button, and my bed comes down.
Oh my, oh my.
I've got lighting above the bed as well, so I can sit in there and read. Storage at the back here is for bedding. You know, it's only accessible when the beds are down there, unfortunately. But the problem with fitting one of these beds is it has to anchor, a solid anchor because it's on 4 straps. Now I've got 2 walls here which was fine. That was easy enough. But myself and my brother couldn't figure out how to put the anchors above the back door, which is why the bed's actually shorter than it would be normally. The bed comes in a kit. I think it's 6.5 foot by 5.5 foot, something like that, and you just cut it down to whatever size you need. It's narrower and shorter than normal, and the reason for that is because your van goes up like that. The bed has to be at the narrowest point at the top, so I'm losing space as I come down.
Yeah.
Like that. So it's just the way it is. But I can sleep on this, or 2 people can sleep on this, and you'll have 2 people sleeping underneath, because I can set it at whatever height I want, so I can have it at this height and still have room underneath for people to sleep there if I want to.
Wow.
I mean, it's secure. There has been an issue with elevator beds in RVs where there's been a weight issue. When you've got 2 people in, it's not been that secure. So what I normally do with this bed, I drop it right down and it sits on top of my cupboards.
Perfect.
So it has a lot of support around it. But I don't really need that. It's just the way it is, because I drop it right down. I've got a little step. I can just step into bed. Just in the morning, get up in the morning, just press the button, the bed goes away.
That is stupendously good, I've got to say.
And that it's not very fast, or it's not very slow, really, but it's gone.
Wow.
I'm ready. Then I'm back ready using my seating area.
That's like nomadic luxury, that, isn't it?
Now, what I was saying about the shower, this would be normally a place where they put the shower in.
Yeah.
As you can see, the depth of that wouldn't be big enough or deep enough to go inside as a shower. So your shower would be coming out further out.
Yeah.
Once you get the shower further out, then this space becomes narrower. I didn't want to have that narrow claustrophobic feeling. So that's why another reason I didn't go for the shower.
Yeah.
And another reason, this space then is utilised by this long fridge. So it's nearly like a normal fridge you find at home.
Yeah.
You know, it has a freezer, plenty of storage. I looked at the initially I looked at the 50-litre fridges, which were all down here, and I'm getting a bit too old to be getting onto my hands and knees to be looking to what's in the fridge. So this was ideal. It's a long, narrow one, 75 litres, and I've raised it up so I don't have to do that.
Perfect.
I can just open that. And then next to the fridge area, I decided to build pull-out ladder.
Nice.
So I've got a ladder space in there.
Now that's a great use of space, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, 3 great features there. You got the pull-out ladder, you got the kind of nice sizable fridge, and the elevator bed. I mean, this is kind of future-proof, isn't it, as you get older and wiser?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still. I mean, I'm 61 now, but I'm still fairly fit. I do a lot of hiking and walking and stuff, hill climbing, and other adventures outside. A couple of weeks ago, I was out mountain biking, which I put a little shot up, a little video on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, basically saying who knew I still had it. It was just sort of me riding an electric mountain bike across a mountain bike centre trail. I used to do a lot of cycling, not so much now. That was one of the downsides of the way I built this van. I don't have any space to carry a bike.
Yeah.
I'm still debating whether to get a foldable one and put a box on the back door and put it in a box there. I'm not quite sure yet.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, that, is it?
Yeah.
Great.
On this side, I've got a little wardrobe with a camber door. which was a bit difficult to fit. I bought the tambour door and had to build this to fit the tambour door.
Wow. So you got some serious building skills. Is that your background or anything?
The thing is, the way my brother had always wanted to do a camper van build. He's got an old split screen Volkswagen from the 60s, and he's done loads of work over the years on it, but he's never done a build. But he's got like quite a lot of electrical and plumbing skills.
Yeah.
I had none whatsoever. So basically, the two of us, we use YouTube a lot to figure out how to do things, and that's how we did the build.
Great.
There was a lot of mistakes made, and a lot of time we did things more than once, or maybe 3 to 4 times. We put something in, it didn't work, we had to take it back out. There's still some things which we did wrong. It's a bit too late to fix now. But I've got a Truma combination hot water heating boiler, which supplies everything for me, which was great in the winter months. We probably put a bit too much insulation in. We probably overdid the insulation. I was thinking about, I don't really like the cold.
Oh, especially winter, yeah, winter time.
Winter, so I was actually wanting to do that. Make sure that we never got really, really cold.
Yeah, you've done a winter in this.
Yep. So I've done this previous winter. Thank God for teddy bear bedding. That's a lifesaver. Anybody who knows, if you've got a cotton bedding, you're getting in and you're freezing, you have to do the shuffle to warm it up. With teddy bear bedding, you're straight in and it's nice and cozy.
Yeah, I've looked at that before. Actually, it's a good.
It really is. Everybody I've talked to in van life who's done winter, they all say get some teddy bear bedding. It's the best thing.
Yeah, or a 4-season sleeping bag. I went from a 3-season to a 4-season, and the difference was remarkable.
Yeah, or a sleeping bag. I actually have done that. I had one of my camping sleeping bags, which was a 4-season one. I've actually slept at the back here, not on the bed, but just on the back, because I remember now why. I had the sleeping bag with me, but I was on a hill, and I was like that, and I couldn't get the bed to be. There's no way I could sleep in the bed like that with my head, blood going to your head. So I ended up sleeping like that.
Great.
I've got a full fresh water tank and a 90-litre water tank that's underslung. A 40-litre waste tank, which is also underslung. And I've got a filter tap, which was a game changer for me as well. I'd spoken to a lot of people and they ended up buying big bottles of water. For every litre of water, you've got 1 kilogram. So if you've got a big pack of, 10 bottles of 3 litres, we're talking 30 litres of weight, 30 kilos of weight. So I went for a tap, which is a simple filter. It filters out 99.9 of whatever you put in, whatever you get in water. So I don't need to buy bottled water.
Great.
I'm quite happy to drink it through the filter.
How does your cooking system work? I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, so I've got electric sockets, obviously, so I can plug my air fryer in, toaster, kettle.
Yep.
When I come to cook, then I have.
Oh yeah. Well, it's nicely hidden as well, stealth.
I'll explain this. So I've got a Sterling induction double induction hob, which really does work and it does cook food really quickly if you've got the right pans. Problem with these is that they're glass. Now this is my second one. I made a little error on the first one. I can't remember what it was, but something fell on it and it made a little chip in the glass. Just a little one. I thought, oh, that's fine. I'm driving around and the chip started moving and the crack appeared and it started cracking right across the induction part of the hob. Now Sterling say if you've got a crack in it, you can't use it. It's dangerous.
Right.
I put some super glue on the crack to help it would stop it, and it didn't. It just carried on and cracked.
Right.
So this is my second one. which is why it's now covered with rubber. But not using it, this rubber covers it completely, just in case something falls.
There's a story for everything, isn't
I'm
it?
not going to go through that again. I mean, they're not that expensive, but enough. They're expensive enough to not have to keep, putting a new one in after cracking it.
That was a good lesson.
Good lesson, that. Yeah. In fact, I think it might have been a screwdriver or something. Just we were doing something and it just...
Wow. Great. Well, you've got a fantastic home here. Everything seems so well thought out and structured and organized.
Yeah. I mean, I spent quite a lot of time initially. When I got the van, it was an old DHL van, and it had a metal bulkhead with a sliding door, metal struts on the side with loads of racking. Took us a long time to get it out because a lot of it was riveted in, and lots of screws, lots of bolts. Got it all out. The first thing I did, I went to a storage place near where I was doing the van, bought some boxes, made the boxes up, bought the boxes in and started placing them around. And that gave me an idea of space.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is going to be the fridge and this is going to be the cooker, and where's that going to go, and how much depth and things like that. But it also evolved as I was doing the build. So we put something somewhere, doesn't really work that way. Okay, we're going to have to move it around and change it. So even though I had a clear idea of some things, I was adamant I didn't want any gas. I've never had any gas in any of my homes, so I wasn't used to cooking on gas anyway. So I didn't want any gas. So I was a bit unsure about having gas, as it burns and all that sort of stuff. So adamant no gas, so everything was going to be electric. So if everything was going to be electric, that meant I was going to have a really good setup for the electrics. I approached a company called Nomad online, and they asked me lots of questions: how I was going to be using the van, how much of grade, campsites, etc. This big questionnaire, filled it all in, and they came back and said, "This is what you need, and we can supply it all." So they act like a third party, and I've got everything from them, and they basically sent us an idiot sheet. Anybody could follow it. This is why this wire goes to this place, this wire goes to this place. Use this size wire for that one, this size wire for another. So it was easy enough. As I say, I didn't know no experience of electrics, but my brother had. So it enabled him to go through that idiot sheet, if you like, and even myself reading it, we could figure out how to wire everything in. Right.
Well, this is fantastic what you've done here. I love as well the decor on the outside, the decals and everything. Fantastic look. But it looks sharp on the inside, looks sharp on the outside, and you got the technology here to enable a smooth Nomad life, I think, haven't you?
Yeah. As I say, I love the look of the old wooden style, the rustic cottage style camper vans. But I think I've got a bit of an OCD, or maybe not. But I just like everything to be streamlined and everything in its place at the right time and all that sort of stuff. So I went for this sort of look. And strangely enough, the actual colour layout in the van was basically because of the roof. I decided not to do the wood roof, and I found this black vinyl in a market stall. It was the end of a roll, and it was enough to do the roof, and that set me off with a black, grey, and white idea. That's what I went for the decor in here.
Very good. Well, thank you very much for sharing a bit about your story and the tour. I think it's fantastic what you've done here.
Thank you very much.
So we'll see you on the road.
All right, cheers, bye.